What I wanted to do today is do a little bit of an Ask Me Anything. I wanted to first, let me see if I can make this any bigger, because this was like a great comment, and I agree with this gentleman. So let me just read it first. Good stream, sir. Seen a lot of your videos, and you contradict yourself sometimes. Well, maybe I contradict myself quite a bit. In this video, you say you believe the only way to learn this is by watching someone else. Maybe I said that what I should say is the only way to learn is by practice. It's skills development, by watching someone else. What I should have said, or what I want to make clear, is it's by watching this stream, coming into my live trade room. There'll be links down below if you want to check it out for 2 weeks. Maybe starting with something like Prop Done Right, which is also in the description down below. It's a 10 video course. It's absolutely free, as well as a ebook on how to do these prop programs right, which is really just small account trading. So the way to learn is by deliberate, useful practice with a community and with someone sort of leading you in that charge. It's not necessarily by watching. So if I've said that, I mean by watching over the shoulder, if you will. But it's a contact participatory sport. Obviously, I can't push the buttons for you, and you have to do this on your own. Yet many times you've also said to learn by practicing managing risk ourselves because it's experiential. Yes, clearly. I mean, that's what you have to do. I think that goes without saying. And by the way, this is a great comment. I need more questions like this because they get me to think about how the best way I can communicate. And even if we disregard that, you've also said not to focus on watching how you trade, but observe that you're not losing money and you purposely make it hard to follow what you do. That all is absolutely correct. In my trade room, only teach, train, and show two different trading strategies. One is called Stay in Your Lane, which you're looking at right here on the screen, which is a simple strategy that just involves two standard deviations from VWAP with an overlay of decisions based on the volatility profile of the 7-day ATR. I'll also leave a description down below to a 3-hour workshop that will explain all of that in a lot more detail. These streams are not really meant to educate on those types of things. But I don't stream here on YouTube or in my live trade room to do any kind of monkey see, monkey do. The whole goal is for you to see that I'm in a lot of trades very often. 40 to 50% of them are in live accounts, and the other 50% are in funded prop accounts or evaluations, right? So right now I'm trading an evaluation here, but I'm connected to all of these are funded accounts. So my goal is to be in a lot more trades than I probably would on my own, and to show you that if you size your trades properly and you enter at high probability areas, then you're going to be able to see that, hey, you really have to screw this up to get too sideways and to get into too much trouble. And I also only trade micros. And the reason I only trade micros is because that's all you can trade in these small accounts. So that's what I really want to get across when I'm streaming. If there is anyone out there that is trading minis, including these guys at Top Step, and I understand they've grown their accounts and things, but the way they grew their accounts is way, it's just irresponsible. You can't take a single or even two or three or $4,000 accounts and take them up to 30, 40, 50,000, which is what you would need to trade even two minis. All you're doing is using leverage and the way these programs are structured to just reset or rebuy a cheap thing, and you're just going to be on a hamster wheel. You have a couple nice payouts, you can be on the leaderboard for a little while, but it's not really sustainable. So back to this guy's comment, he's right. I will go out of my way to say, don't really necessarily follow what I do, with the only exception being, look at this area down here every day, which I have open and available for everybody to take a look at. So this right here is all I say to take a look at. Most days it's green. It's not always green. It's just never bright red, because we're taking high probability trades, high probability areas. The only thing I want someone to see is this right here. So I'm not purposely trying to confuse anybody or push buttons all over the place so someone can't really understand what's going on. But once you come into the trade room, do the homework, orient yourself towards the concepts, we can speak in a common language. And all that really matters is what happens at the end of every session, where we ask the group, hey, how did you do today? How did you manage risk today? How did you adapt to the trading world? Because following what I'm doing within the framework of these strategies is not how to really learn a strategy. How to learn a strategy is by watching the replays, being in there, asking questions, and then adapting it to yourself. So this is a great last point here, but does watching a person practice discipline have anything to do with being able to practice discipline yourself? That's some Zen shit. And this is what I get in all the time, because when I hear about trading psychology or sort of toxic self-talk and all these things, my answer is always, you solve it with size. I was talking to a community member this morning, and he was mentioning he still gets into this situation of revenge trading and all these things. And I said, okay, well, what is your size? And he's just trading the micro Dow. And he said sometimes up to 4. I said, cut your size in half. If that's ever happening, the micro Dow is 50 cents a tick. you should not be getting into any of this revenge bad behavior at 50 cents a tick. So I said, you got to cut your size in half. You got to go from 4 contracts. You can only trade 2 for a little while until you never get stressed out about what you're seeing on the screen. We just start there. I have no idea if he's entering at the right places, if he's taking high probability trades, if he's adapting to volatility and volume and the market conditions, trading the strategy correctly. None of that matter. But does watching a person practice discipline have anything to do with being able to practice discipline yourself? Is that the multi-million-dollar question? I can tell you this. If you've been at this for very long and you keep having those behaviors of blowing up accounts or trading too large or thinking you can never do it or, being in butthole pucker time every time you push the button and super concerned. Some people are not made out for this business. How do you feel about having promoted profit trade? That's another really good question. So let me go to my YouTube channel and I'll try to move away from the live that's going on right now. And they've changed the community area to posts. So this used to be called community. And if you come down here, there's 3 posts that I did on profit trade. And that'll give you my answer to how I feel about it. It was an unfortunate situation. I did know the guys. I think they were truthful about what happened to them. But my whole story is diversify. And for what it's worth, I never got paid a dime on any of the promotion either. They went belly up before anything happened. And we had almost more than that, 70,000 in verified payouts in our group before they went belly up. So there was a lot of guys in our group and gals. I know 2 ladies I can remember who did it quickly and cashed out and it worked out for them. But yeah, that was a high profile failure and it sucks, but you can read this right here and great question though. Appreciate that. Thank you for that. Do you think it's better to stick with prop firms for the benefits that come with a funded account or to be on your own? I think it's to do both. So the answer to that is when and if you can, I would suggest working towards 2 to 3 funded accounts at 3 to 4 firms, provide some diversification. You might like customer support at one versus the other. You might like the payout rules at one versus the other. The mix that we have in our group is Apex, Take Profit Trader, My Funded Futures, Tradeify, Top Step, and a few others. So Dimitar, I just answered that. Which prop firm you like and recommend? I answered that. I watched your live demo and you keep flipping to different accounts, so it's difficult to see which are winners and which are losers. I started this whole thing by discussing that. So I don't want to get snarky. Here you go. Can you see this? This is all the accounts that are connected. So Rick, I know the Dow and NQ change correlations of stocks. And how do you deal with when they break correlations? Good question. So I don't care much about correlations. I don't do much top-down analysis. I don't care too much about correlations. They are so fleeting and they've all died. There used to be dollar crude. There used to be nice inverse correlations between the TN or the ZN, if you will, TYA or the ZN, depends on whatever, and the S&P. And this year, over the last year or so, it looks like there's been a lot of correlations between NASDAQ and micro Bitcoin. But short answer is I don't pay attention to them at all because they're just too fleeting to provide any value. How do you log into multiple props in NT? The easiest way to do this, and I'm going to do more stuff on trade copying, is to choose prop firms that have, so for instance, here's what I'm connected to right now. Apex Tradeivate, Bullinox Rhythmic, Interactive Brokers, which is live, Ninja Trader, which is live, and TPT Tradeivate. So the easiest way to do this in the setup that I'm doing is select one. Now this is if you don't have a live brokerage account. The best way to do this is to create one live brokerage account with Ninja Trader, put at least $1,000 in there, more if you can afford it, and use their data. Connect to that first. Then you can connect to one Rhythmic account. So you could buy like Rhythmic from, I don't know, Blue Sky or something like that, right? So you have Rhythmic, Blue Sky. Then you can connect to an unlimited amount of Tradeivate accounts through Ninja Trader. So you can get 3 Tradeivate accounts at Apex, get 3 Tradeivate accounts at Elite Trader Funding, get 3 Tradeivate accounts at Take Profit. And then you can stitch that all together. Does that make sense? That's the easiest way to do it. There are Rhythmic only copiers that are platformless where you can connect to multiple Rhythmics on the back end and then just trade in the front end. I like the Tradeivate Ninja thing. And by the way, how about that Kraken buying Ninja Trader, huh? The moment that I woke up and saw that, I bought 2 Bitcoin because I was like, these guys clearly have enough money and are confident enough in what the regulatory policy and everything's going to be behind crypto to be spending $1.5 billion for Ninja. I have a love-hate relationship with Ninja. I think it's terribly managed. They haven't made any advances to the software in 10 years. I hate their brokerage. Did you hear that, Ninja? You guys suck. All right, that will be it for today. Stay green. Trade like you mean it. I really appreciate. Get the ebook. Everybody, all those questions are answered in the ebook. And thank you, everybody. Hit the like button. Leave a comment if you could be so kind, and we'll see you at the next one. Thanks. Bye.